The Link platform is used by organizations to ensure that change is successful. By capturing the digital twin of the organization, organizations create visualizations, undertake analytics, and deliver simulations about change to understand the impact it's going to have before the decision is made to do any implementation. The process starts by doing a capture. Using Link structured language, we're able to understand the work that takes place, the people that are doing the work, the tools that they use to do that work, and the data and information that is created as a result of doing work. Processes are costed by attributing costs to staff members and understanding the duration and frequency of actions that take place. The model gets built out as information outputs from one process enable the next piece of work that produce more outputs that deliver value to the organization. Once the model has been completed, we're able to see a process from end to end, including all of the people who are involved in delivering value to the organizations, the systems that support information or maybe automate processes, as well as being used as tools by people, and importantly, the data and information that enables us to create this value for the organization. Link's insights then start providing knowledge about the process, including the total cost. In this example, we're looking at the submission of a health and safety incident, and it costs $797 each time this process is engaged. It takes 38 hours for the process to be completed. There are 6 systems involved and 7 people. We can very quickly understand the cost versus the value of the work that goes on, identifying areas of the process which might be an opportunity for us to improve the way that we are operating. We can visualize the systems that are involved and understand the technical DNA of the business, really digging down into how different tools are used by people to perform their work. We can see the impact that systems have on the way that we operate. In this example, email has 71.4% of the content that's needed to enable us to complete this process. There are 4 people that use this tool through the submission of health and safety incidents. We can pivot around the people who are involved in the process. So if we take a look at the manager, they spend 6 hours of time engaged in this process. We're able to see all of the actions that they undertake, and we can assess the value of them and the validity for this role to be undertaking this work. For example, it might be perfectly okay for the manager to be involved in investigating an incident, but maybe we don't want them filing paperwork, and this might be an activity that we can provide to somebody else. As we're capturing the current state of a process, we're also able to identify opportunities for change. In this example, we've captured some tags against the witness workflow that is currently undertaken. There's a significant amount of wait time as we wait for people to provide us with the content because we're communicating with them through email. And we can see what impact this is having to our process. So by using the tag that we've captured, we could see if we were able to do something around this part of our workflow, we could reduce 24 hours of elapsed time from our workflow, and we'd also have a small cost impact. All of this work allows us to create a future state, which is a response to the way that we're working today. In this particular example, we've modeled what would happen if we implement Assura, which is an online health and safety management application. We're completing the same work. We are submitting an incident, and at the end, we have managed that incident and we've provided lessons learned and insights back to the business. Link Insights now tell us about this process, costing $153 and just taking slightly more than 2.5 hours of time to undertake. A third of the process is automated. You can see there are fewer systems and fewer people involved. In fact, if we look at the system, we're able to understand how Assura as a platform automates actions as well as how people will use this tool in order to do this work. If we take a look at the manager who's still engaged in this process, we can see that their time has been significantly reduced. They're now undertaking 4 actions, not 7 or 8, and rather than the 6 hours of time, we're only spending just over 2 hours engaged in the process. We brought all of this knowledge together in a compare function, which allows us to look at the current state that we've modeled and take one or more future states that we are interested in achieving. And in this circumstance, if we are operating as the future state model has been described, we would remove $644 each time we process a health and safety application and it would take over 35 hours less time than it does today. We're able to see the systems which are impacted. So these are systems removed from the process, and here's Assura, our new platform. We're able to see how people are impacted by the process as well. Here's the manager's time reducing from nearly 6 hours to just over 2 hours. We can also see we don't need to hire any new roles into this process to be able to operate in this way. We get to see actions that are being removed from the organization and the new way of working, and also the information that we are removing from our process, typically paper and PDFs and email, and the 11 new information assets that have been created inside Assura as the platform. The end result is a view of our business which we can take to leadership. We've got evidence to support a decision which might lead to an implementation to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of this part of our organization. And as we apply this methodology through the rest of the business, we're able to account for continuous improvement. We can innovate new ideas by capturing content from people as they describe their opportunities to us. And we're able to present this back in a very consumable way to everyone inside the organization.